Contrary to widespread societal beliefs, the idea that happiness requires being in a romantic relationship is not a universal truth. Many men are choosing to live alone, not as a result of rejection or failure, but as an intentional lifestyle motivated by personal growth, peace, and self-sufficiency. These men defy the norms that equate solitude with sadness or weakness. Instead, seeing it as a source of strength, they reject outdated narratives that happiness stems solely from companionship, leaning instead on a philosophy of self-reliance and inward fulfillment. Inspired by the principles of Stoic philosophy, the decision to live alone without a girlfriend is often rooted in the pursuit of a meaningful, undistracted life. Solitude allows them to focus on their passions, goals, and introspection, offering clarity and balance in a world often filled with external pressures and unrealistic expectations. This path, while unconventional in the eyes of many, reveals profound truths about living authentically. It's not about rejecting relationships, but rather choosing a life that aligns with one's own values and aspirations. From the ability to control one's time to the liberation from societal expectations, these men exemplify the wisdom and power that can be found in solitude. The following sections will uncover 7 essential truths that outline why and how these men thrive in a lifestyle embraced by choice, not circumstance. Truth 1. Mastering the art of self-sufficiency. One of the most striking aspects of living alone is the development of self-sufficiency. Without a partner to lean on for shared responsibilities, men quickly become adept at managing every aspect of their lives. This self-reliance is a powerful skill that promotes growth and independence. When you live alone, you quickly realize there's no one else to handle challenges or everyday tasks for you. Need dinner? You have to cook or figure out a solution. Bills to pay? Only you can track your finances and ensure everything is in order. Feeling down after a rough day? You can't rely on someone else's comfort or validation. This kind of accountability cultivates a sense of self-discipline that's hard to achieve in shared living situations. Take finances, for example. Living alone means being solely responsible for rent, utilities, groceries, and maintenance. Budgeting becomes a priority, and over time, financial literacy can significantly improve. Men who live on their own often become better at managing money, setting financial goals, and understanding where their priorities lie. Similarly, emotional and mental independence blossom in solitude. Without someone constantly available to share problems or offer encouragement, these men turn inward to develop problem-solving skills and fortitude. Philosophers from the Stoic tradition celebrated self-reliance as a pathway to freedom. Seneca, in particular, reminds us that he who is content with the least is the richest. This perspective ties directly into the essence of living alone. When you can meet your needs without relying on others, you gain a profound sense of control and satisfaction. Self-sufficiency also extends to daily routines. Cooking, cleaning, planning each day's activities, and staying productive without external motivation become normal. These practices build routines that are not only efficient but empowering. Knowing you can thrive on your own creates an unmatched sense of confidence. Truth 2. Embracing solitude as a source of strength. Where some might see solitude as loneliness, men who live alone view it as a powerful tool for growth. Solitude is their space to reflect, reset, and push forward without distractions. It's not a void to fill, rather, it's a resource to harness. When you live alone, you have the freedom to spend time with your thoughts in ways that aren't often possible in a shared environment. Solitude encourages self-reflection, where you can assess your goals, actions, and character. Can you become a better person? Are the choices you're making leading toward a fulfilling life? These moments of introspection offer clarity, direction, and purpose. Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius understood that solitude strengthens the mind. He wrote in his Meditations about the importance of withdrawing into oneself for reflection. This inner retreat is not about escaping from responsibilities, but about confronting them in a way that builds self-awareness and resilience. Silence, which accompanies solitude, is rich in opportunity. Men who live alone often use this quiet space to explore creative thoughts, work on hobbies, or discover new avenues for growth. Whether it's painting, writing, learning an instrument, or simply cultivating an interest in philosophy, their time and energy are their own to invest. Contrary to the belief that being alone fosters unhappiness, solitude can lead to a profound sense of contentment. Think about it. When unburdened by the expectations and demands of others, there's time to put yourself first. This doesn't mean neglecting relationships or shirking social bonds, but rather allowing space to nurture your own ambitions. Solitude, in this context, becomes the ultimate freedom. Practical benefits also arise from the ability to block out external distractions. Without interruptions from a partner or the negotiation of shared goals, men can focus on their longer-term dreams. Whether that means excelling in a challenging career, pursuing higher learning, or investing time in personal health, the chance to concentrate without compromise becomes invaluable. Through 3, developing emotional control and inner peace. When you live alone, there's no avoiding yourself. Men in this situation must face their emotions head-on because there aren't external reassurance or distractions to lean on. This confrontation with one's inner self is not always easy, but it develops emotional resilience and inner peace. Without a partner to rely on for emotional support during stressful or uncertain times, men living alone must learn to self-soothe and regulate their reactions. This doesn't mean bottling things up or shutting down emotions, but rather understanding and processing them independently. They become their own source of comfort. Marcus Aurelius famously stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This empowerment is a hallmark of emotional control. When men learn to master their emotions, they become less reactive to stress or external pressures. Instead, they approach challenges with a calm, measured mindset. For example, a promotion at work that fell through or a disagreement with a friend might provoke frustration or disappointment. For the man living alone, these emotions are confronted and managed without defaulting to a partner for reassurance. Over time, this practice fosters an emotional discipline that radiates strength. Finding peace in solitude also stems from disengaging with the chaos of the outside world. Men who live solo understand the value of their physical home as a sanctuary. It's a place of rest, rejuvenation, and tranquility. Without the tension of interpersonal conflicts or the need to compromise, this alone time becomes a refuge where stress can't easily penetrate. Emotionally resilient men also develop healthier boundaries in relationships. Having learned to thrive independently, they're less likely to cling to unhealthy or toxic connections. They approach friendships and relationships with balance, knowing that they can bring their full selves into the equation. Truth 4. Experiencing true freedom. Living alone provides unparalleled freedom. Men who choose this lifestyle often find themselves liberated from societal expectations, unhealthy relationships, and external obligations. This kind of freedom reshapes their approach to happiness, enabling them to live authentically and independently. One of the most tangible benefits of living alone is having control over one's finances. Without the need to compromise or share financial priorities with a partner, men are free to allocate resources as they see fit. They can save aggressively, invest in passion projects, or even spend on experiences that bring them joy without considering anyone else's approval. This financial independence creates a sense of security and possibility that many find empowering. Freedom also manifests in daily decision-making. Men who live alone don't need to negotiate around someone else's preferences or routines. Want to spend an entire weekend hiking or learning a new skill? Done. Have a burning desire to quit a secure job and start a business? There's no need for lengthy conversations or justification. This autonomy fosters a deep sense of self-reliance, as they control every aspect of their lives. From a practical perspective, this freedom extends to living authentically, without societal pressures. Many men feel the weight of societal expectations to adhere to specific timelines or milestones, like settling down or marrying. By living alone, they step outside this narrative, rejecting conventional norms to create a life that aligns with personal values. The Stoics' perspective on wealth resonates here. According to them, true wealth isn't measured by possessions, but by needing little. Men who live solo embody this philosophy by focusing on what truly matters to them, unencumbered by external expectations. This freedom also enables bold risk-taking. Without the obligation to provide for or compromise with a partner, men can pursue dreams that others might shy away from. Whether it's traveling the world for months or launching an ambitious startup, living alone gives them room to chase their passions without guilt or hesitation. By living authentically and intentionally, they carve out lives of meaning and fulfillment, uninhibited by societal demands or toxic influences. Truth 5. Cultivating a deeper sense of purpose. Solitude offers men an extraordinary opportunity to seek clarity about their goals and ambitions. Without the distractions of shared living or the needs of a partner, they can focus inward, discovering their unique purpose in life. Purpose, as the Stoics believed, is central to a virtuous and fulfilled life. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about aligning daily actions with a higher purpose, emphasizing the importance of living deliberately. Men who live alone have the time and space to reflect on what truly matters to them. They can ask themselves profound questions like, what kind of person do I want to be? Or what legacy do I want to leave behind? This reflection leads to intentional decision-making, where every choice aligns with their vision of a meaningful existence. For instance, a man living alone might choose to dedicate his evenings to writing a novel, honing a craft, or learning a new skill rather than being distracted by the busyness of shared living. This ability to concentrate deeply helps them cultivate expertise and discipline in areas they deeply care about. Over time, these efforts often merge into a broader sense of purpose, setting them apart from those who live reactively rather than proactively. Furthermore, this focus on intentional living extends to their relationships with the world. Because they aren't distracted by shallow pursuits, they find themselves prioritizing things that align with their sense of purpose. For some, this might mean giving back to their community through volunteer work. For others, it might mean building meaningful professional legacies or contributing to areas like art, technology, or education. Purpose seekers often model extraordinary discipline and resilience. Without distractions, men who live alone cultivate habits and routines that fuel their ambitions. Whether through fitness regimens, focused study sessions, or meditative practices, they channel their solitude into self-betterment. This lifestyle isn't random, it's deliberate and driven by a powerful sense of why. Truth 6. Forming stronger, more meaningful connections. While living alone might seem isolating at first glance, it teaches men to value connection in a more meaningful way. Solitude doesn't equate to loneliness. Instead, it provides clarity on how to build relationships rooted in authenticity, mutual respect, and shared values. Because men who live alone aren't dependent on others for emotional or social validation, they steer clear of shallow or toxic connections. They don't need a crowded social calendar to feel fulfilled. Instead, they focus on forming deeper bonds with people who genuinely add value to their lives. This can mean nurturing friendships based on trust and respect, or investing time in family relationships. Living alone teaches emotional independence, making these men less needy and more grounded in relationships. Their connections don't spring from a place of dependency, but from a choice to share experiences with others. This emotional steadiness often makes them more attractive to others, both romantically and socially, as they're not seeking validation or approval. For example, a man who lives alone might consciously limit his social group to a small circle of loyal friends rather than a large crowd of acquaintances. Because he's intentional about these connections, the relationships often become more enriching and enduring. These men also tend to set healthy boundaries, ensuring that their well-being comes first, while still supporting those they care about. Healthy solitude also makes space for kindness and understanding. Free from the distractions of constant social interaction, they can be more present in their encounters. Whether it's lending a listening ear to a friend in need, or genuinely celebrating someone's accomplishments, these men foster relationships built on depth rather than surface-level exchanges. Truth 7. Becoming unshaken by external circumstances. Men who choose to live alone without a girlfriend often cultivate a profound sense of inner stability and resilience. This strength is rooted in their ability to detach themselves from external circumstances and, instead, focus on their own internal growth. By living independently, they learn to rely on themselves for emotional regulation rather than depending on external validation or support. This independence allows them to master their emotions and operate from a place of calm and self-assurance, regardless of outside influences. A key characteristic of these men is their ability to remain unaffected by other people's emotions or opinions. Whether faced with criticism, pressure, or even praise, they don't waver in their sense of self. This quality mirrors the Stoic philosophy of maintaining composure and objectivity while navigating life's ups and downs. Acceptance of life's unpredictability and the refusal to be ruled by fear or complaints strengthens their ability to adapt and overcome challenges. Because they are not easily swayed by the concerns or expectations of others, their happiness becomes entirely self-digressive. They find fulfillment within themselves, rather than seeking it in relationships or societal approval. This makes them incredibly resilient to rejection, setbacks, or failures. They view such experiences as temporary obstacles, rather than defining moments, allowing them to move forward with unwavering confidence. Men who live alone also develop discipline as they take full responsibility for their lives and well-being. Without the distractions of external relationships, they focus on personal goals, habits, and self-improvement. This routine of accountability fosters not only discipline, but also a deeper sense of contentment that doesn't rely on external conditions. Ultimately, these qualities transform them into individuals who are unshaken by the chaos or uncertainty of life. Their calm and inner peace become their greatest strengths, enabling them to thrive independently. Living alone is not just a lifestyle choice, it is a powerful act of self-empowerment. It embodies the essence of resilience, independence, and emotional intelligence. By mastering solitude, individuals gain the freedom to focus on self-growth, cultivate meaningful relationships, and live authentically on their own terms. Drawing inspiration from Stoic philosophy, this approach underscores that true freedom and happiness lie in self-sufficiency and self-mastery. Ultimately, living alone demonstrates that fulfillment comes from within, not from external validation or societal expectations.